Well, what do you think that says?
Andrews.
Yeah, Andrews.
Andrews boring life.
Boring life. Does that sound like a book you want to read?
No.
That doesn't sound very exciting, does it?
And I don't even want to read it.
Well, too bad. Open it up. Let's see what happens. I wonder if maybe it's not maybe it starts off boring and then it ends up not being boring. What do you think? That's my prediction. What's your prediction?
Andrew.
Andrew
threw himself into the couch and sighed. How was school today? Dad asked. All right, I guess, Andrew replied. We're doing a project with a school in the United States. We have to write letters to plan polos.
It's pen pals.
Pen pals. So it's so
bothersome.
Bothersome.
What are pen pals? Do you know?
I don't know.
Pen pals are people from usually far away, but it could be anywhere. It could even be just on the other side of town. But it's people who you write letters to, and they write back to you, and then you write to them, and they write back to you. Where do you think this person lives? Do they live in the United States?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Why not? Maybe the text will tell us where. Where do you think he's going to be from? What prediction do you have?
France.
France. Oh, that's cool. Let's turn the page and see what happens next.
That sounds like fun, said Dad. I don't have anything to write about, said Andrew. Tell about your life here, said Dad. There's nothing special about my life, sighed Andrew.
Good, yeah, Andrew.
Your pen pal might not think so, said Dad. Do you want to hear about life in the United States? Yes, said Drew. Then your pen pal probably feels the same way, said Dad. Now let's go pick up Mom. She dropped her car at the garage for repairs.
Oh my goodness, we picked up Mommy's car tonight, didn't we?
Yeah. The din coming from the engine was loud.
Do you know what the word din means?
No.
Can you imagine, or can you figure out what it might mean, just according to the story?
Noisy?
Very good, yeah. The noise coming from the engine was loud. Din usually means the loud noise. Andrew. The EW makes the ooh sound, Andrew.
Andrew sat down that night and began to write. Dear...
Before reading this, you want to read this. December 5th.
December 5th. Dear
Sophie.
Sophie.
That's a good guess, though. It's actually pronounced Sophie.
Sophie. I'm Andrew, your new pen pal. I live in Sydney.
Very good. Sydney.
Australia. I have an older brother named Max. a dog, and a cat.
Now we know where he lives. Sydney, Australia.
And I exactly thought there was going to be a cat in there.
No.
It's almost summer here. I go to the beach every day now. Max teaches me to surf. He wins surfing contests. I also like to play rugby.
Yeah, it's rugby. Very good.
Rugby and cook. My favorite class in school is science. Your pen pal, Andrew.
I like how you went back to fix some of that reading. This is pronounced Flynn.
Mr. Flynn mailed the letters, and everyone pen pal wrote back quickly.
I think I didn't hear you pronounce the apostrophe S. Everyone's pen pal wrote back.
December 17th.
Good.
Dear Andrew, thanks for writing. I live in Franklin.
Franklin. There's an L there. Lynn. Very good, though.
Tennessee.
Good. That's perfect.
I have a brother too, but he is only 4. We have 2 cats. I like horses and I like to ride. It's summer. It's summer there now. It's winter here. I've seen kangaroos and koalas at the zoo. Have you ever seen them outside a zoo? What's Sydney like? Your life sounds very exciting. Please write back soon. Your pen pal, Sophie.
So here's a picture, and I think that this is probably Andrew. What's he doing?
Reading her letter?
Yeah, reading her letter. And who's this, do you think? It's Sophie. Did she send a nice letter?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what she did? She made a connection. She said that she's seen kangaroos and koalas in the zoo. And how is that a connection? We just read about koalas. Where do koalas live naturally?
In
Australia. In Australia. So maybe Andrew would see a koala just out in the nature. The way I showed you a picture at the video of the deer I saw earlier. Deer just live naturally here in Pennsylvania. Koalas live naturally in Sydney, Australia. Or near there. Let's see what Andrew has to say. Maybe we'll learn something.
January 10th.
Why do they keep putting the date in the top of their letters?
I don't know.
It's to let the person who's going to read it know what day they wrote it. Right?
Dear Sophie, Sydney is a large city. People from all over the world come here. My mom speaks Japanese and French. Sometimes she translates or tourists.
Very good. Translates for tourists. Now, you might not know what translates means, but the sentence right before this one says, my mom speaks Japanese and French. And then it says, sometimes she translates for tourists. Tourists are people who come to visit from far away and they don't live there. They're just there to see the sights. What do you think translates means?
I don't know.
Well, it has something to do with the languages. It means that Andrew's mom can actually take these languages, Japanese and French, and turn the message that the people say into English so that Australians can understand what the Japanese and French people are trying to say. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. I've never seen kangaroos in the city. They are everywhere else, though. You might see them dawdling,
It's actually dodging.
dodging cars along the road. Once I tried to catch a kangaroo. I ran very hard. My chest was heaving and my legs hurt, but it's still easy. But it still easily hopped away. Your pen pal. Andrew.
You did a really nice job figuring out that word easily. That was excellent. What does the word dodging mean? You might see them dodging cars along the road.
I don't know.
Do you think that the kangaroos are attacking the cars?
Yeah.
Attacking? Like fighting the cars? Do you think they're eating the cars?
No.
Are they licking the cars?
What?
Licking the cars?
No.
Smelling the cars?
No.
Drawing the cars?
No.
Dodging means avoiding the cars, like trying not to get hit by the cars. That's what dodging means.
Why don't they just jump over the road?
They can jump high and far, but probably not quite that much.
Andrew wrote letters every week, and he and Sophie talked about school. They talked about family. Andrew told her about places he and his family had visited. How's your pen pal? Dad asked one day. She's fine, replied Andrew.
Good.
You must have found something to write, Dad said. Sophie has lots of questions. She even says my life is exciting, said Andrew. Dad laughed. I guess it must be then.
What's the title of this book?
Andrew's Boring Life.
Is it boring?
No.
He thought it was, but Sophie is pretty interested in it, isn't she? And look, this is a picture. This right here, this image is very, very famous. It's the Sydney Opera House from Sydney, Australia.
Dear Sophie, thank you for the picture. Wow, that horse is big. We visited a koala rescue station. Here is a picture of me with a baby koala. Mr. Flynn.
It's just Flynn.
Flynn says the class project is over, but I hope we could keep writing. I used to think my life was boring. Now you'd made me see that it isn't. Your friend, Andrew.
Isn't that a nice letter?
Yeah.
Excellent. That's the end of the book.